Hi everybody, this is Dr. Moore with ND Direct Docs again. So we're going to continue with our car seat safety series. The first type of car seat that parents oftentimes get is an infant seat, or you'll often hear it called a bucket seat because you can carry the child by the handle like a bucket. This type of car seat is really the most popular one I see in infants. It's good technically up until age 1, although a lot of kids are going to be ready to come into the next seat up before then based on their size. And a lot of times parents ask me, do I have to have this type? What's the best kind of one for this type? I think it's good to know, especially if you're trying to get the longest lasting, safest option for your money. You don't actually need this type of seat at all. You can switch straight to the convertible seat, which is the next seat up. We'll talk about in a different video. Some of those are designed to go down to lower limits for weight and height, so they can actually be used for infants also. Not all can be, so you just need to do your research on that. But why would you want to buy a third car seat then, like an extra one, when you could just go to a convertible? The main reasons I see people using the infant sort of bucket seat is, one, tradition. That's what they see everybody else do, and so it's kind of what they assume they have to do. So it's good to know you don't. 2, these can be more convenient to carry a baby in and out of a car. So babies tend to sleep a lot, and as soon as you put them in the car, they fall asleep wherever you're going. And so it can be hard, especially if you're just running in and out of something like a store quickly. You don't necessarily want to have to unbuckle your kid. If it's winter and you're not supposed to have a coat on them in the car seat, now you're dealing with them being cold and wrapping them up in things. You've woken the baby, now they want to eat, et cetera, et cetera. So it can be nice and convenient to just be able to unclick from a car seat base, which we'll talk about in a second, where you can literally just touch a button, take the baby with you. That's really the main reason that I see. And it's just convenient to be able to go from seat to seat. So if you have 2 different cars, it's nice to not have to uninstall this seat like every single time that you're switching it back and forth. So that is a plus in my opinion, but it's a personal choice. So the car seat base, you don't have to have this for most models, but you need to check your car seat instructions to know like that your model has a manual and you need to read through it. But if your car seat has a base, either mandatory or optional, that is what this whole issue is here. So the bottom line is, if you don't use a base, you have to strap the car seat in directly using, they'll show you how in the manual. Or if you have the base, you can use the base to strap the base into the car itself, and then you don't have to do the car seat individually. Usually you're going to have 2 options. You can either use your seat belt and it can actually run through the correct path, but then it's a lot more work to undo it each time. Or you can use something called the latch system, which is these fancy little clips right here that are quite sturdy. And you're going to see that generally cars, newer cars and even not so new cars usually have this system installed. You might not see it. It's this little silver clip that sort of is hidden right underneath your car seat area. So you have to go looking for it. But then you just latch this in. This one, for example, it has a pull strap that you would pull to tighten it properly. And once that's in nice and steady, you're going to check it by shaking it. And if you're able to shake it or move it when you're shaking it more than 1 inch in any direction, then it's not in tight enough. So a lot of times you really do have to get almost like on top of the car seat, yanking on the straps. It can take a lot of muscle to do them in properly. And I see a lot of people putting these in way too loose, and then it's just useless. It's not helping at all. The other thing you're going to see with the base, and this is something that makes it easier to use a base, I find, than the car seat without it, is there's different mechanisms on different car seats. But as I move this knob, you're able to see the angle that this is situated at is going to shift, okay? That's important because infants, babies can move their heads in all kinds of crazy ways and it doesn't bother them at all. But if infants' heads go down, that can cause them to not breathe. And we don't want them to stop breathing in the back of the car. That would be bad. So you can adjust the angle so that your infant is more sort of semi-reclined so that their head isn't going to fall forward, basically. As they get older, then you can put them up a little more upright. So I think that's everything about the basics of the base.
And then you were saying that you bought one car seat but two bases.
Yes, so that's what we chose to do. We bought one car seat, two bases, so that we could switch our baby back and forth from car to car a lot more easily. I think it was like $40 more for an extra base, so to us it was worth it. The other thing I see a lot of parents like about baby car seats, and that we did do also, is that a lot of times there will either be a stroller that's the same brand, or you can buy an attachment thing that lets you put your car seat in another stroller. But a lot of strollers for infants will let you just take the car seat, infant seat, and click it in, just like another base, basically, so that you can just like go walk in and out of a store, and you don't even have to carry the heavy infant bucket seat. Because one of the dangerous things, excuse me, guys, one of the dangerous things we see with bucket seats is people will often take these, and you'll see them going around the grocery store, and they'll put the bucket seat on top of the cart. Really common, really bad idea. So if it's not safe, it's not latched in properly into those, unless it's a special, like occasionally you'll have a car's like a seat system that's built in, but that's not generally the case. Putting that up there puts your baby at risk of falling and ending up having a head injury. So really not a good plan. If I can't fit this all the way into the actual cart, then I really shouldn't be doing that, even though it's nice and convenient. So just an FYI. So I think, were there any other questions you wanted to go over with these?
The thing on the side, the leveler thing.
That's right, thank you. So as we adjusted this angle, the way it's going to show you, most car seats now will have built in, and your manual will tell you, they'll have a little leveler that shows you if it's at the right angle for that infant. So this one, if I go too far in either direction, you get that orange. But if I'm at this where the blue is showing only, then it's at the proper level for that infant. And that's important because it's just going to depend on your car model, the angle of the actual seats, etc. Other things as far as picking the brands, I find, really it's up to you. They've all passed the safety standards, so they're all equally safe in my opinion. That's what car seat techs have taught me also. But this one, for example, has a convenient little button that you can just push down with your thumb and pull on these straps when they're around your kid, and it loosens it. So it's really pretty easy to take your kid in and out. You just take on one front strap, or you push the little button. Some car seats are not that easy. Some car seats you have to adjust from behind. So if it's in your budget, I find that looking for those kind of basic details is helpful. Same thing with, we'll talk more in a later video about how to safely adjust the straps, but you're gonna have different levels of straps that your kid grows into. So you're gonna have to adjust this and move it to be through here. Different car seats, more or less easy in their mechanism of doing that. So it's just something to kind of look at. You can find most of this on YouTube videos with parents like talking about their own car seats nowadays, so you can really find a lot of information out to make decisions. I think that's the big stuff.
Got it?
All right.